What should we do?
Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Cher's Podcast. I'm sorry I've been missing for a couple of days. As you know, I was traveling to Brazil. I have a house there, needed to do some maintenance work to it, and so on and so forth. Thank you for, I actually did 2 podcasts. I had my wife holding up the phone and videoing me, and she was laughing at me. She's like, boy, you're really into this podcast thing, right? So, long story short, I always start off my podcast with a spicy topic, right? And I mean, y'all don't go and not support KFC, y'all buy the spicy chicken. Furthermore, I like original, right? So, but we're gonna come to that at the end of the topic, at the end of the podcast. But y'all support KFC because I just had KFC last night. I had it this morning, all right? And y'all don't worry the fool, right? Now, as you know, sorry, that was my editor who didn't do her job early this morning of getting me this Red Bull, because I needed it, right? So last night around, approximately, and I wasn't there, Mr. Azadin Mohammed, the presidential or the wannabe presidential hopeful, or the hopeful presidential hopeful at this point, because we have 28 days to go for elections, right? And I think it's beginning to sinking in his brain that he's never going to become president of Guyana, which I've been telling you for the beginning of this podcast, of Cher's Podcast, by the way, right? Now, so, allegedly, I wasn't there. I actually went home around, I would say 10 o'clock last night from the bar. Feeling tired, got an early day today. I actually woke up late today, but I had an early day today. So I decided to, come home early. So I got a call from the security that Azadin Mohammed and a few people are by the door, or by the entranceway. Should they let them in? I said, no, we can't let them in, because any money they spend at the sheriff bar or any of the sheriff entities, it will be money from ill-gotten gains. And we cannot do business with or I choose not to do business with a sanctioned individual, right? So so the security said at the gate, they didn't let him in, of course. I don't think he wanted to come in. He just really wanted to speak to me. I don't answer his calls. The other night, he put somebody to video call me when I was in the bar. And the person was showing me all the texts and the voice notes and whatnot. And the person said it's like a rally in here, right? Because the place was obviously jam-packed. So I think he expected me at the bar yesterday, and he came by. So the security said, no, Mr. Ahmad isn't here, which is true, because you wouldn't see my vehicle outside, 1. And 2, I was just not there. So my point is this, right? He came there and he asked the security to see me. The security said, I'm not there. The security said, would you like to relay a message to Mr. Mohammed? They were on the phone with me. And they were on the phone with me. And I said, if he wants to leave a message or he knows my number, he can call me. So he told the security, after he was barred from not going in the bar, because doggy don't take 1 bottle of champagne from me and didn't pay. So I really can't have that have that scenario again, and we cannot support a sanctioned businessman as well. So the message he wanted to relay was, can Amir stop his podcast? He was very nice, by the way, to the security. He didn't say anything bad. He didn't curse. He didn't do anything. He said, can you tell Amir to stop his podcast that is affecting his campaign? And of course I was on the phone, so I overheard everything. Can he stop his campaign against me? And we want him to join Team Win. So of course, you know me, I don't get paid to do this. I get fun out of doing this. I get fun out of educating the population of Guyana. I'm not a member of the PPP. I'm not a registered member. I'm not on the candidates list. I'm not a member at Freedom House. I just do this to educate the people of Guyana. Come September 1st, this podcast is going to jump in a different direction. But what I want to say is that Mr. Mohammed and Team Mohammed has become so desperate for votes lately that there was a video surfaced with him the other day sharing out money in a minibus in the hinterlands. Now, he's a smart guy because he goes into the hinterlands, who can't see this podcast, he goes into the hinterlands, he goes into these places that people don't have Wi-Fi and telecommunication network and they got to go to a health center or a regional network to get their Starlink, and then they'll see 1 or 2 episodes for what they want to watch, and then everybody scroll through TikTok and Facebook and so on. They want to see what's spicy going on in Guyana. So that's what he's basically doing. He's basically trying to isolate a certain part of the population. Now, I want to thank Mr. Mohammed for trying to visit the Sheriff Bar last night. I appreciate the support and gesture. Well, I appreciate the gesture. I can't appreciate the support because he didn't spend any money. But unfortunately, we cannot accept monies from you or anybody belonging to your organization, as we are trying to keep on a clean slate, and we do not want to take monies from people that are ill-gotten gains, so to speak. So I humbly apologize to you, sir, that you cannot come to the bar. It's just that it's not that I don't want you to come to the bar, it's that you're a sanctioned individual. You're also my father-in-law, but again, I'm sorry, but I cannot take money from a person that's sanctioned. I do not want to be sanctioned by the US or by any particular country. I like to travel free and be okay. Now, that was his desperation last night, and I guess that stemmed from the Linden turnout, because that was the biggest turnout PPPC has ever had. We covered that live yesterday, right? And we saw the turnout. We really saw the turnout for ourselves. It wasn't boss bringing people. It wasn't paid people. Nobody got no 5,000. I was personally there. I had my drones up. But Mohammed got thing about drones. Mommy think we got drone following you or something. But anyways, let's not get to that, right? But I was personally there and I saw the turnout, and I've spoken to some people privately. Said, hey, what do you think about the PPPC? I had a few bad comments, I'm not going to lie, but 99.9% of my comments were good. Well, or the comments or the feedback that I got was good. That yes, the country is developing, Linden is developing, Linden, the small contractors are getting work. There's about, I think, over 2,500 small contracts that was spread around Linden between small contractors. So I think that it's now sinking in Azadeen's Mohammed head that he would not be president. And he cannot be president because literally he had a rally the other day at Bartica, editor? Yeah. Bartica. And we literally can count the people there. And I'm 100% sure that he paid those people to come to the rally. So I'm not going to stop this podcast, Mr. Mohammed. I'm sorry. It's something I do for the people of Guyana. I want you, I know 50% of the population likes me, 50% of the population doesn't like me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm ready to sacrifice my and have a thick skin and let people cyberbully me all day long. Right? let people cyberbully me all day long, but to educate those people that are watching this podcast, that is my real goal. My goal isn't to bash you, bash the APNU, bash any party. My goal is to strictly just come out and educate the Guyanese people. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic, right? It already says sheriff podcast. He doesn't come to the sheriff bar. He was barred from coming there. You know you can't come there. Please don't come there. Please don't send doggy. Please don't send nobody. Just know that the security kicked you out last night. And you should be ashamed of yourself, right? Because of course, I wouldn't even speak to you if you had come there. I would have put you, I would have been on the news today putting you out, right? Luckily, I was home. Now, whilst I was away in Brazil, I saw some damning boycotts. And those damning boycotts were because the banks had cut ties with them. So GBTI was the last last known bank to cut ties with the Mohammed team and all their cabinet. Not cabinet, what am I saying? All the members on the list that it was submitted to GCOM, right? And they clamped down on them, they closed their accounts, they canceled their loans, they etc. Because once your account is closed, I would assume the next thing to follow is your loans and your car loans and all of these things. So it was first Demar Bank, followed by Citizens Bank, then GBTI. So of course, you know, the GBTI is a conglomerate, great conglomerate by the way. And Suresh Bihari is now the chairman of the board of directors. And congratulations, Mr. Suresh, for being the chairman of the board of directors, by the way. I actually know their CEO very well. He's a very nice guy and he's local, so I'm happy that GBTI hired a local personnel now. So he's very nice. He's very cordial individual. He gets back to you at any time you want to call him. Mind you, I don't have an account to GBTI or have loans, right? So I'm not trying to pick up GBTI because I have loans or I have an account there. Actually, I don't. But yeah, he's a very nice guy. Now you are going out as a party, right? And you're telling people to boycott Indie curry powder. Man, you the bar when Indie they make Indie curry powder. That's one. Two, you telling us, the Guyanese people, to boycott KFC? What's wrong to you? Something you gotta be mentally, your party gotta have a mental illness. You do that in Trinidad, them people slinging you up. Like how Jim Jones sling them people up. Right? Oh, let me ask you a question, right? If the bank choose to follow the Anti-Money Laundering Act of Guyana, and people that are closely associated with you, bank accounts are being taken away, right? They had to know what they were getting themselves into before they join your party. They could not have, unless you pay them, but now it's hitting back. Ramaya pulled out to your party. There was this gentleman, United Democratic something, said that he gave his manifesto. This is coming up back to another manifesto topic, that he gave your manifesto to your father, Mr. Shel Nazar Mohammed, which I always pledge to say I say nothing bad about this gentleman, and that he saw snippets of his manifesto word for word in your manifesto. So not only did you copy PPP manifesto, you copied the United Democratic something, don't know what that is. I don't even think they're registered. The guy wanted to join your party, so of course he was sharing ideas. And now, do I blame you for taking the man ideas? No. Because you really didn't want the man, you just wanted his ideas. Now, let's jump back straight into this boycotting thing. You want us to boycott Pizza Hut, KFC. Editor, can you give me some more of the things that he wants to boycott? KFC, Indie Curry Powder, Pizza Hut. You want us to boycott Citizens Bank? Well, I can't boycott Citizens Bank. I owe them people enough money. So I can't do that. Sorry about that. Yeah. Bihari's Auto Group. Sterling. I like ice cream, man. And you barely getting big. You're supposed to like them things. And DDL Brown rum. The best rum in the world. The world's voted best rum for the last how many years? You want people to boycott. The pride of Guyana, you want people to boycott. Imagine that. The stupidity of your party. The stupidity of your party, right? That you want to boycott the pride of Guyana, right? Were you even born when they come up with the formula for DDL, 12-year-old, 15-year-old, 25-year-old? I think you really need a reality check. And the reality check you got was when you realize people are not turning out to the turnout. So now, I see you move to, you got another dog in your house. You got, what's the name called? Brian Max. Now, I have nothing more to say about Brian Max as I don't know him personally. But I've watched a couple of his videos and I guess he's on Team Muhammad's side. Again, I have no fight with Brian Max. I have no issues with Brian Max. So I don't know him personally, but I see that he's been advocating for you. And that's great. You need people like Brian Max to advocate for you, because clearly Odessa Primus, who's the general secretary of your party, and Chico, I mean, come on, what kids gonna eat? But how is it that you're going to boycott Chico, KFC? I mean, what we gonna eat? What I gonna eat? This all I eat is KFC, right? But the people of the Guyana, it's to show you that Azzedine Mohammed is not really truly fit to be a candidate. Because here's why he's not truly fit to become a candidate. And let's go back to the Barnum days, when I wasn't even born, but these are stories that I've heard. So if his first call, right? If his first call is to, because remember he's sanctioned by the United States of America, not Guyana, not the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. He's not sanctioned by the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. He's sanctioned by the United States of America. When Secretary Blinken and President Biden was in power, right? So let's get that fact straight. This has nothing to do with Guyana. How come he says y'all boycott America? But he wants to pick on us little Guyanese, our little country, our small population, like Jim Jones did. Right? He wants to start a cult. Oh, where people can bang their money, boss? You were there last night. You see how much people was drinking 12-year-old and 15-year-old rum? That is the #1 rum for the expats, if you didn't know. When they come, that is the #1 rum for the expats. And then you're going to tell the Afro-Guyanese and the Indo-Guyanese to boycott KFC. You will know that there's bread in the morning. We wake up, we eat a piece from the night before. We just buy, we just keep it lunchtime. In fact, I steal people KFC. My cameraman, right? Every time he come in here with KFC, hey man, left a piece of KFC for me, no? Right? So now the man, I hear the producer now telling me that he see the man eating out the KFC in the car before he come upstairs. Because he don't know I'm here going to ask you for a piece of KFC. Right? I don't know if it's true or not. This is what I heard from the producers. I don't know if it's true or not. So don't take me on, don't take me on, guys. But this is bringing us back, my brothers and sisters, to the Barnum days. Where even if you give, we all know at this point that Azadin Mohammed is not going to be the next president of Ghana from the turnout. That's one. Two, we did our polling. Our polling data is right. We spent some money on the polling. But the polling data it came back correct where out of 18,000 persons, PPP got the majority, about 75% of the majority of votes. Now, is our polling 100% accurate? No. But it comes back to the point of this. He's going to move us back 40 years. On his opening day, when he announced his presidency, he said, our founding fathers. And now I understand why he said our founding fathers, because he's not a part of the PNC. Well, we got to get back to that topic a little later. But he said our founding fathers. And that stuck with me because I said, why is he mentioning our founding fathers? He has nothing to do with our founding fathers. The only thing he did is rob the treasury of Guyana. That's one. Two, now I understand. You want us to take us back to the cassava bread days where we got to make we own cassava bread, but I can't live off of cassava bread. Look, I mean, I have you in the Ozempic, but I cannot live off of the cassava bread. I really can't. And I'm sure 90% of the Guyanese population, the Indo, Afro, Amerindian people love cassava bread. But we can't live off of that. We don't have time. We have oil now. We can afford to go and import food. We have Wendy's that is coming. Well, you want to boycott Wendy's though? So basically, you are telling us to boycott all the international brands, right? Because you and your party members' bank account get closed, and those were the companies that are owned. The Matson. Simple. And now, I want to get to one of the few last topics that I want to speak about. So I was caught on video, and I always say video and a video or a photo doesn't lie, right? We caught the WIN campaign setting up in what region? I think it was region. It was one of those interior regions. I'm not too sure. So we caught them with the WIN t-shirt on, setting up a campaign, I guess a tent, you would call it, because they don't get that much people, so they just set up a tent and a microphone with one speaker. With the WIN t-shirt on, setting up for the APNU rally. So he is saying that there's going to be no backdoor deals if he wins a seat or two in parliament, right? And that's all he's going to probably do. He's never going to win the presidency. There's not going to be no minority government from the rallies we're seeing, because it is no longer, I don't know what is another word for tsunami, but what I saw yesterday was not tsunami, right? Yeah, sorry, it was Essequibo. They were setting up the thing for Mohammed. But what I saw in Linden yesterday was like a volcano erupted with red and spread it all over the place. And really and truly, people were listening to the ideas for the next 5 years and the ideology of the PPP civic, and they were listening to what they had to say and what the next 5 years about. They don't go along mumbling, what's the power output for the next 5 years, sir? That's all you say. You have no real policies. Your party launch was a failure. Your manifesto launch was a failure. I think you need to go watch the movie Failure to Launch, because clearly you cannot be successful without either giving away money to people or begging me to stop my podcast against you. Now you know my number. You should have called me and asked me. I would still tell you no anyways, because I'm a die-hard PPP fan. Not a member. Don't get paid to do this. I'm a fan. I want to see Guyana grow. I want to see Guyana continue to rise. Now I don't want to keep this long. I just want to say this to my Guyanese brothers and sisters. Team Mohammed, their party is going to dismantle after September 1st. Because yes, probably Azadin Mohammed will get a seat. Yes, he will go into parliament just like Pablo Escobar did, and then after that he was extradited. Very soon, very shortly, we never know. You don't know the dates, right? But don't worry about Team Mohammed and go and boycott chow mein. We're going to eat fried rice all day. Chow mein tastes good. Bihari's chow mein, champion chow mein is the best. KFC, well, I am sure Odessa Primus ate KFC and Fata ate KFC after you put out this. Boycott 12-year-old rum. Ghana is a country of rum. We're voted the best rum in the country. In the world, sorry. So, let me come back to my main points. Do not pay no attention to Team Mohammed. They don't know what they're talking about. You cannot want to boycott something because you did something wrong. That's like me going and getting into a problem with somebody and going to play wrong and strong. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. They work like Panther Security. Show up to a client, right, with AR-15, and boof. When Sheriff Security show up, they act like the victim. Right? They act like the victim. Just because somebody let them go. Let a contract go for them. But anyways, let's get back to the politics, because we have 28 more days to, and this is a serious time. By the way, on August 31st to September 1st, we're going to hold the 24-hour a podcast, detailing you why you should vote for the PPP and the PPPC. Well, PPPP and PPPC is the same thing, I'm sorry. So, at the end of the day, I want the Guyanese people to make the right choice. I want you to understand not to boycott those businesses. Those businesses did nothing wrong. They're actually great businesses. Citizens Bank is where I take my loans from. Demerara Bank has been good to me. I don't have any loans with Demerara Bank, but if y'all want to give me a little thing, I'm open for it. But well, I'm kidding. Okay, if I don't bust my want to sad jokes in here and my corny jokes, then I'm not a Ahmad, right? So let's do a recap before I end this podcast, right? Azadin Mohammed came to the bar last night to speak to me. I guess he thinks calling me I would record his calls, but I'm sorry, sir. I'm not like you and Doggy record people calls and so on, right? That's one. Two, please don't come back to my establishment. I cannot accept illicit, illegal, or sanctioned funds from you. Even if you drink or you don't drink, or you party, who you bring to drink, please don't come. We don't want you there. I'm telling you, we don't want you there. That's 2. 3, you're telling the Guyanese public to boycott all of these organizations. Right? What will you eat, partner? You want to put us back into the Forbes Barnum days, and I keep on saying over and over, a vote for Team Muhammad or the Win Party is a vote for the APNU. We've all seen them setting up the tents for the APNU. They all have a backdoor dealing going on, and y'all know Azrin like the backdoor already. He liked to do backdoor dealings. Right? So, it is clear as day that he's not going to become the next president of Guyana in the next 28 days. And he's, in his mind, I think he's mentally going crazy, because he really thought by having 400,000 followers on Facebook that he's going to become the next president of Guyana. Can't blame the man for dreaming. Having a dream is good. Executing that dream is another thing. I want to say this to everybody who's showing up to the PPP rallies and who are on the borderline of voting, and who are the voters that don't know who to vote for. You got to look at the pros and the cons of the parties, and you got to think about where your future, or what do you want for your future. Do you want new highways? Do you want new bridges? By the way, I want to thank the Honorable President Irfan Ali administration for making the people's lives of Berbice and Region 3 and Wismar Linden. Thank you, sir, for keeping your promise and making the bridges toll-free. It was an amazing feat. You don't know what you did there, sir. That little gesture. And let's take Berbice as an example, because I know that the government still have to pay the private investors for Berbice, right? They've taken on that burden. But, sir, I want to tell you the great work you have done. And that little money that they're saving, you've just enhanced people's lives by 1%. By that 4,000 or 2,000 they're saving, and that 200 they're saving, and Wismar, the 100 that they were saving, think about it, a man coming, that's an extra 4,000 he can give to his kids. So, sir, I want to salute you. I want to thank you for the braveness, the ideas that you have, and keeping your word is the main thing. Not like these other candidates who jumping around like they know what they're doing. You are a man of the people. I know you personally, but I don't interact with you personally. Right? And I know you have a good heart. And I want to thank you for giving those people the chance to now crossing the bridges for free. I know it had to be a cabinet decision as well. But I want to thank the Irfan Ali's administration on behalf of the people of Guyana to giving those bridges for free. Now, let me get back to ending this podcast. A vote for Azrin Mohammed or Team Win is a vote for APNU. Like I said, he has all these backdoor dealings, and we know, quote unquote, he loved the backdoor dealings, right? Second of all, he's going mentally crazy right now of all the money he has spent, because remember, he's sitting on money, but you spend $1 here, $1 there, and then you realize you're not going to be the president of a country that you thought you were going to be a president of. It's crazy, right? But we told you this from the beginning. If I was Azrin Mohammed, I'd buy a little island in the Essequibo River, build a nice house, seclude myself, and do what you've been doing all the time. Carry the girls in the boat, right? So, again, at the end of the day, my Guyanese brothers and sisters, don't worry this crazy person that's saying, oh, boycott all these businesses. When you go to that polling station, vote the party of your choice. But before you put that X on the box, think of where your life was 5 years prior to this and where your life is now. How fast can you get to the airport? How many new highways and bridges we have? How many more schools have opened? How many more hospitals have opened? Medication is free. Medical is free. If you go to the United States where Azadine has been sanctioned and you go for a checkup, you basically got if you go and check this arm, you got to sell back this arm just to pay the medical bill. Let's call it that. So in Guyana, we've seen an influx of hospitals, 7 new hospitals, new highways in West Coast, Region 4, Region, they're building a new one, in Region 4 in Linden. That's not Region 4, what am I talking about? Region 10 going up to Linden, and they're redoing the diamond roadways. So they've given away 59,000 core house lots or more. They've given away 29,000 homes. They're building and they've been giving as well young professional homes to live in. Now, that is what you have to think about. You want a government that knows what they're doing or a government that doesn't know. So I want to end this podcast by saying this election is now, they're now going to build a house. Because as I said before, if you're following my podcast, the Irfan Ali's administration has set the foundation the last 5 years, and now they're starting to build a house. It isn't complete. And if you're being fair to any administration, the Irfan Ali's administration deserves a second term. Unfortunately, in Guyana, we don't have 3 terms. Because if we did, I would tell you he deserves 3 terms. But we don't. The Constitution clearly says we have 2 terms. So, by me ending this podcast, I want to say this. Azadine Mohammed, please do not come back to my bar. How you went revving the car after you get put out of the bar, how you went revving the car there, I think you should go to GRA this morning, or right now. GRA is still open. Now is 12:36, 12:37, right? How you revving those cars now, you should go in front of GRA and rev them, right? But you're put out, you're ashamed, you wanted to make a show, and that's what you are. You're a little boy with money. That's exactly what you are. You have no future. You're just a little boy with money. And by the way, I saw a sad post over the weekend with your uncle that said that you and your sister are not capable of handling whatever. I pledge to the family of Sarah, Abraham knows my number, Farah Yusuf knows my number. The Sheriff Hospital and Medical Center pledges today to give your uncle free medical care from now until the rest of his life. Not because he came out and talked about Muhammad, but the type of people we are, we don't want to see somebody suffer because they came out to speak their own political views. I have an uncle I don't like, but I've publicly put it out. I've put ads out there. I've put ads that he's not associated with the sheriff group because people saying that he's associated with the sheriff group. I'm keep on saying no. So I put a paid ad. Right? But that doesn't mean that if he gets sick tomorrow, I'm not going to be by his side. He comes to my bar, I welcome him, I hug him. But does it mean that if he gets sick tomorrow, I'm not going to be on the first flight to the United States to make sure that he's okay? 100%. He's my family. And blood is thicker than water. So that could tell you that this boy is mentally insane. Then came out, had one of his puppets, came out with a post that says that GHPC is not doing a good job. GHPC now want to go take their precious time that could have saved lives and go make a post to say that the man is well taken care of. Right? So, Sarah and Farah, you guys are my friends. I haven't spoken to you in many, many years. I know my wife Janice buys stuff from you a lot. She really likes you as a person, by the way. But I haven't spoken to you guys in many, many, many years. But I think Farah still has my number. You can reach out to me on Facebook. We are at Sheriff Medical Center and Sheriff Hospital. We're willing to take care of him free of cost. I know you guys can afford it. You're not hand-to-mouth by any means. But not because he came out and said that. We are willing to take care of him for free of cost, whatever it is, whatever treatment he needs, whatever medication he needs. I'm just putting that out there. Now let me get back to end this podcast. When you vote on September 1st, not September 2nd, like Aubrey said, August 2nd, apparently he's going to vote August 2nd. You know he's going to vote August 2nd. Right? Maybe he's going to vote somewhere else. But the voting day is September 1st, 2025. Vote PPPC for regional and general elections. Make sure when you put your X in, and hey, GCOM really needs to pay me for this thing, you know. I ain't gonna send a bill to GCOM. Put your X in the box. Do not put your X touching the lines of the box. Do not put your X outside the box because every vote in Guyana counts. They literally count your vote one by one. You don't want to stand up in that line and then your vote doesn't count. So make sure your X is properly aligned in the box and not outside or touching the lines. Again, think about the future of Guyana. Think about the future of your kids, your grandkids, and the infrastructure development that's happening in this country. The financial stability that Guyana is now in is impeccable. And who led us to that? Who led us down that road? The PPPC administration. Now, I always end my podcast, and I'm always going to end it by saying this. Do not look at the crowds that are showing up for the PPP. Do not look at, I'm a neighbor, go vote. Take your friend, take your family, pick yourself up, bring your enemy, bring your lover, bring your other one, tell them join one, join middle, one join front, one join back. Bring everybody out. Now, I want to put a disclaimer because I know that by me stating the truth of what happened last night, Azzedine Mohammed is going to come up with a new theory. And he's going to put his so-called dogs on me. By the way, Sheriff K9 Unit won the best dog prize last night. What was it that we won? We won the best breed, the best among others. We took the show away, you know. I mean, he got one doggy. We got several actual dogs when you look at the dogs and you look at doggies, like, whoa. Right? Now, vote PPPC, vote for progress. All joke and fun aside, do not boycott those businesses. Because a man who's sanctioned by OFAC, not by Guyana, he stole from Guyana, right? He stole from Guyana, and now he wants to, boycott these businesses because these businesses close his account and on the members' account. What do you want them to do? The Ghana Bankers Association even came out and supported this. So it's not a bank decision alone. They have to consult with the Bank of Guyana. The Bank of Guyana is an independently run organization, I would assume. And there is now a Bankers Association who says they agree with this. So, look, let's vote right. Let's vote not to go back to the cassava bread days, because that is what he's going to put us back to. Also, when you're drinking and eating anything free from his rally, please be careful. Because remember, this man is mentally insane now. He's running mad. And we do not want a repeat of Jim Jones in this country. Right? I want to say this. I want to catch you on the next one. Thank you very much. So, I want to say, we at Sheriff are trying to bring back a lot of things to Ghana. And one thing I'm proud of my producer for is bringing back a comedy show. And twice a month we host this comedy show at Sheriff's Bar, and it's tomorrow. And we try to bring back comedy into Guyana. You know, not just drinking alone. We try to bring back comedy. We try to get a laugh here and there. I think the last laugh is going to be Sheriff tight back the line. No, sorry. It's going to be Sheriff slack back the line. That we're going to bring out, and we're just really trying now to bring comedy back to Guyana. You know, give the comedians a chance to showcase their talent, different comedians. It's $10,000 per ticket. It might seem steep, but you're also getting 10 free beers, shandy, or Malta of your choice. Or, well, say shandy and Malta of your choice. So basically, you're coming in for free, right? I want you to support this event. And you're not supporting Sheriff. You're supporting your local comedians like Chow Pao, Bling, Fling. I know all kind of name the man this got. I really don't know. They got all kind of name. One come out, he say he name mud water now. He clean. He water clean. He water no muddy no more. I don't know. Them comedians is go all over the place. So I really don't know about them. But support your local comedians. Support them. And let's try to move Ghana forward. Let's try to bring different entertainment to Ghana. I want to thank you again for supporting and listening to me. I want to say that Aziddin Mohammed, please do not come to the comedy show tomorrow. You're not going to be allowed in, right? And I also want to say this. Please, I'm begging the Guyanese population, think about the future of Guyana and how and when and where you were and where you are, and think about how we can move forward and which party you think is best to move forward. Do you think Aubrey Norton can move this country forward? No. Do you think Nigel Hughes can run this country forward? No. They don't have the votes. Do you think that the insane or crazy Aziddin Mohammed can run Guyana? He can't even run a business. The man begging me to stop my podcast now because he said it's affecting his votes. People don't want to come out because they're listening to me. The only party that can run Guyana is the PPPC party at this moment. And if you want the house to complete and the house to flourish, vote PPPC come September 1st. We will be running a podcast marathon from the 28th to the 1st of September. And then we'll take a break on the day of voting day, go vote, come back to the studio and keep you updated with, we have some updates on polls, polling stations. We'll try to keep you updated throughout the night. I'll be up throughout the night. I mean, I know the PPP is going to win. It's just how much of a landslide they're going to win by. Now, again, don't be lazy this election. If you're eligible to vote, come and vote. I see a lot of people from the US are commenting as well. I hope you are coming out to vote too. Because remember, this is your birthland. This is the land of your ancestors. And if you want this land to go anywhere, you need to come and vote PPPC. I want to thank you. I'll catch you on the next one.